Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something we often overlook: the power of silence. Too many times we talk when we should listen. We react when we should observe, and we argue when we should reflect. The wise say, better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. But in today's world, people mistake noise for intelligence. Let's change that. Silence is often misunderstood as weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest forms of strength a person can possess. In a world where everyone is in a hurry to speak, react, and prove themselves, those who master the art of silence hold an undeniable advantage. Silence gives you control over your thoughts, emotions, and actions, allowing you to respond with wisdom rather than impulse. When you choose silence, you create space for reflection. Instead of reacting emotionally, you can analyze situations with clarity and objectivity. Many people speak out of frustration, anger, or ignorance, only to regret their words later. However, a wise person knows that silence allows them to process their thoughts before making a decision. This self-control prevents unnecessary conflicts and misunderstandings that arise from rushed words and unfiltered emotion. Moreover, silence is a sign of confidence and intelligence. People who are truly knowledgeable do not feel the need to constantly prove themselves through excessive talking. They understand that speaking less does not mean they know less. In fact, it often means they know more. They observe, listen, and gather information before choosing the right moment to speak. Their words, when spoken, carry weight because they are well thought out and meaningful. Additionally, silence is a form of discipline. It takes great mental strength to resist the urge to react immediately. In a heated argument, for example, silence can be a powerful weapon. Instead of engaging in pointless debates, staying silent allows you to maintain your dignity and composure. The person who speaks less in an argument often comes out as the wiser one because they do not let their emotions control them. They let their silence do the talking, which often frustrates the other person and makes them reflect on their own words. Silence also enhances your ability to listen and understand. Most people listen with the intent to reply, not to comprehend. However, when you embrace silence, you become a better listener. You notice details others miss, you gain insights that others overlook, and you develop a deeper understanding of people and situations. This ability to truly listen makes you more empathetic, respected, and influential in both personal and professional relationships. In many cultures and philosophies, silence is seen as a tool for self-improvement. Monks, philosophers, and great thinkers throughout history have practiced periods of silence to cultivate inner wisdom. They understood that in the absence of noise, the mind finds clarity. When you stop speaking unnecessarily, you start hearing your own thoughts more clearly. You become more in tune with your intuition, creativity, and inner wisdom. Furthermore, silence can be a shield against negativity. In today's world where people are quick to criticize, gossip, and spread negativity, choosing silence protects you from unnecessary drama. You do not have to engage with every opinion, respond to every insult, or justify yourself to those who do not understand you. By staying silent, you maintain control over your emotions and energy, refusing to let others dictate your reactions. Silence also builds mystery and intrigue. People are naturally curious about those who do not reveal everything about themselves. When you speak less, others become more interested in your words when you do choose to speak. This ability to maintain an air of mystery can be an asset in both personal and professional settings, making you more respected and valued. In essence, silence is not about weakness or passivity. It is about wisdom, control, and strength. It allows you to navigate life with a sense of purpose. avoiding unnecessary conflicts and distractions. It makes you a better thinker, listener, and decision maker. Those who understand the power of silence hold an unshakable advantage over those who mindlessly speak without thought or purpose. Words are one of the most powerful forces in human interaction. They have the ability to build or destroy, to heal or hurt, and once spoken, they can never truly be erased. People often underestimate the weight of their words, casually speaking without thinking about the consequences. However, what is said in a moment of anger, frustration, or carelessness can leave a lasting impact that no apology can fully undo. Imagine a situation where a person in the heat of an argument hurls insults at someone they care about. At that moment, emotions take control and they say things they do not truly mean. Later, when the anger subsides, they may regret their words and apologize, but the damage is already done. The person who was hurt will always remember those words, even if they choose to forgive. This is the nature of words. They leave scars that time may soften, but never completely erase. Words are also powerful in shaping perception. Once you say something, it becomes a reflection of who you are in the eyes of others. If you are reckless with your words, people may see you as thoughtless, irresponsible, or even untrustworthy. On the other hand, if you are careful with what you say, people will respect you for your wisdom and restraint. Your reputation is built on how you communicate, and one careless statement can tarnish it forever. In professional settings, the impact of words is even more significant. A single careless remark in a meeting, an insensitive joke, or an inappropriate comment can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, or even lost opportunities. Many careers have been damaged because of words spoken without consideration. In today's digital age where everything can be recorded and shared instantly, a thoughtless statement can haunt someone for years. Furthermore, words can shape your own mindset. What you say out loud reinforces your beliefs and emotions. If you constantly speak negatively, complaining, criticizing, or doubting yourself, you create a cycle of negativity in your mind. The more you say something, the more you believe it, and the more it influences your actions. That is why successful people choose their words carefully, using them to inspire, motivate, and uplift, rather than to discourage and destroy. It is also important to understand that silence is often more powerful than speaking. When faced with an argument or a difficult situation, staying silent can prevent unnecessary harm. Many people speak just to fill the silence, fearing that being quiet makes them look weak. However, true strength lies in knowing when to hold back. A well-timed silence can stop a fight before it starts, prevent regret, and even command more respect than 1,000 words spoken in haste. Moreover, words can influence emotions deeply. A single comment can boost someone's confidence or shatter their self-esteem. A kind word can bring comfort, while a harsh one can push someone into despair. This is why great leaders, teachers, and influencers are mindful of their words. They understand that what they say has the power to shape the thoughts and emotions of others. Relationships, both personal and professional, thrive or crumble based on communication. Words spoken carelessly can create rifts between friends, family members, or colleagues that may never fully heal. Many relationships have ended over a single argument where words were used as weapons rather than tools for understanding. The pain caused by spoken words lingers, making it difficult to rebuild trust and connection. Words are also permanent in the digital world. A post, a text message, or an email sent in anger or frustration can have long-term consequences. Even if you delete it, someone may have already seen it, saved it, or shared it. This is why it is crucial to think before speaking or writing. If a message is driven by strong emotion, it is often best to wait, reflect, and reconsider before pressing send. Ultimately, words should be used with wisdom and care. Speaking without thought may feel satisfying in the moment, but the regret that follows can last a lifetime. The wisest people understand that words once released cannot be taken back, and they choose to speak only when their words will bring value, clarity, or kindness to a situation. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, the ability to truly listen is rare. Most people listen not to understand but to reply. They are so focused on what they want to say next that they miss valuable information being shared with them. This is what separates the wise from the foolish. The wise understand that listening is a superpower. It allows you to gain knowledge, build stronger relationships, and make better decisions. Listening is not just about hearing words. It's about understanding the deeper meaning behind them. When you actively listen, you pick up on emotions, intentions, and unspoken truths. Many conflicts arise simply because people do not listen carefully. They assume, interrupt, or respond based on partial understanding, leading to misunderstandings and unnecessary arguments. By truly listening, you avoid these pitfalls and gain a deeper insight into situations. One of the greatest benefits of listening is that it makes you more knowledgeable. The more you listen, the more you learn. Every person you meet has experiences, skills, and knowledge that you may not have. By being open to listening, you absorb wisdom from others without making the mistakes they made. History, after all, is full of lessons, but only those who listen can truly benefit from them. Listening also strengthens relationships. Whether in friendships, family, or business, people appreciate those who genuinely listen to them. When you listen, you show respect, empathy, and interest. This makes people feel valued and understood, deepening your connection with them. Many relationships fail because one or both parties do not listen to each other's needs, concerns, or emotions. A simple habit of listening with full attention can transform the way people perceive and trust you. Moreover, listening helps you make better decisions. When you take the time to listen before reacting, you gather all the necessary information before making a judgment. Many people make poor choices because they act on half-truths or assumptions. However, those who listen carefully ensure they have all the facts, reducing the chances of regretful decisions. In leadership and business, listening is an essential skill. Great leaders listen more than they speak because they understand that their team, employees, or clients have insights that can help them make better decisions. A leader who refuses to listen will soon find themselves isolated, making mistakes that could have been avoided. The most respected leaders are those who genuinely listen to their people, making them feel heard and valued. Listening also improves problem-solving skills. When people talk too much, they often miss the actual problem. But when you listen carefully, you identify the root cause of an issue rather than just its surface symptoms. This allows you to address challenges more effectively, finding solutions that actually work rather than just reacting impulsively. Another powerful aspect of listening is that it gives you an advantage in conversations and negotiation. When you stay quiet and let others talk, they often reveal more than they intended. Many skilled negotiators win simply because they listen carefully while the other person talks themselves into a weaker position. The ability to remain silent and absorb information gives you control over conversations, making you more persuasive and influential. Furthermore, listening teaches patience and emotional intelligence. Many people struggle with self-control and react emotionally to situations. But when you practice listening, you learn to pause, understand different perspectives, and respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. This ability to control your reactions is a key trait of wise and successful individuals. Despite its benefits, listening is a skill that requires effort. It means resisting the urge to interrupt, staying fully present in conversations, and avoiding distractions. In today's world of constant notifications and digital noise, true listening has become even more valuable. Those who master it will stand out, earning trust, respect, and opportunities that others miss, simply because they were too busy talking. Many conflicts in life are unnecessary, caused not by real problems, but by misunderstandings, ego, and the inability to stay silent when needed. People often feel the need to prove themselves right, argue their point, or defend their pride in situations where silence would be a far better response. The truth is, not every battle is worth fighting, and silence is often the best strategy for avoiding pointless disputes. One of the biggest mistakes people make is reacting instantly without thinking. In heated situations, emotions take control and words are spoken that can escalate a minor issue into a major. However, if a person remains silent instead of responding emotionally, they prevent the argument from growing. Silence allows space for tempers to cool and for logic to take over. Many conflicts that seem serious in the moment become insignificant with time, and choosing silence can prevent unnecessary damage to relationships. Another important aspect of avoiding conflicts through silence is recognizing when an argument is pointless. Some people argue simply for the sake of arguing. They have no intention of understanding your point of view. They only want to prove themselves right. Engaging with such individuals is a waste of time and energy. The wise understand that not every argument needs a response. By staying silent, you deny the other person the satisfaction of dragging you into a meaningless debate. Silence also prevents misunderstandings. Often, people speak without fully understanding a situation, leading to miscommunication and false assumptions. When you remain silent and take the time to listen, you gather the full picture before reacting. This prevents unnecessary conflict caused by misinformation. A simple pause before responding can make the difference between a peaceful resolution and a prolonged argument. In personal relationships, silence can be a powerful tool for maintaining peace. Many couples and friends argue over trivial matters that could easily be avoided if one person simply chose to stay silent instead of escalating the situation. When emotions are high, a single unnecessary word can cause deep wounds that take a long time to heal. Choosing silence in such moments is not a sign of weakness, but of emotional intelligence and maturity. Additionally, silence protects your mental and emotional well-being. Engaging in unnecessary arguments drains energy and creates stress. People who constantly involve themselves in conflicts, whether in person or on social media, often find themselves feeling exhausted and frustrated. On the other hand, those who choose silence conserve their energy for things that truly matter. They focus on personal growth, meaningful conversations, and productive actions rather than wasting time on pointless disputes. Silence is also a powerful strategy in professional environments. In the workplace, conflicts arise due to ego clashes, misunderstandings, and unnecessary competition. Employees who react emotionally to criticism or engage in office gossip often find themselves in difficult situations. However, those who know when to stay silent and observe maintain a professional reputation. They avoid unnecessary drama and focus on their work, which ultimately leads to greater respect and career growth. Furthermore, silence can de-escalate situations where words would only make things worse. There are times when no response is the best response. If someone is trying to provoke you, arguing back only gives them what they want, your attention and emotional reaction. But if you remain silent, their efforts become meaningless. Over time, they will lose interest in trying to get a reaction out of you. Another crucial advantage of silence is that it gives you control over a conversation. People who speak too much often reveal information that they should have kept to themselves. In conflict, saying too much can give the other person leverage against you. But when you stay silent, you remain unpredictable and maintain control over the situation. The power of silence is especially evident in situations where someone is looking for a fight. Some people thrive on arguments, feeding off the energy of conflict. Engaging with such individuals only fuels their aggression. However, if you refuse to respond, they are left with nothing to fight against. This disarms them and often forces them to reflect on their own behavior. Ultimately, silence is not about avoiding all confrontation. It is about choosing your battles wisely. There are times when speaking up is necessary, but there are also times when silence is the best solution. Knowing when to stay silent and when to speak is a skill that can save relationships, protect your peace of mind, and prevent unnecessary conflicts that bring no real benefit to anyone. In a world that rewards speed and immediate reactions, patience is often seen as an outdated virtue. However, those who truly understand life know that patience is not just a virtue, it is a mark of intelligence. It is the ability to control emotions, delay gratification, and make well thought out decisions instead of reacting impulsively. Patience is what separates the wise from the foolish, the successful from the struggling, and the strong from the weak. One of the biggest benefits of patience is emotional control. People who lack patience tend to react emotionally to situations, often saying or doing things they regret later. A person who loses their temper quickly is often seen as weak because they allow external circumstances to dictate their behavior. On the other hand, a patient person remains calm under pressure, thinking before they speak or act. This self-control allows them to navigate challenges without unnecessary stress, preventing them from making poor decisions in the heat of the moment. Patience also plays a key role in decision-making. Many people make mistakes simply because they rush into situations without fully understanding the consequences. Whether it's making a financial investment, choosing a career path, or responding to conflict, hasty decisions often lead to regret. Intelligent individuals understand that good decisions require time, research, and careful consideration. They do not let emotions or societal pressure force them into quick choices. Instead, they take the necessary time to weigh the pros and cons before taking action. In relationships, patience is a sign of maturity and emotional intelligence. Every relationship, whether romantic, familial, or professional, will have moments of disagreement and frustration. A person who lacks patience will react impulsively, escalating conflicts and damaging the relationship. However, a patient person takes the time to understand the other person's perspective, communicates calmly, and resolves conflicts in a peaceful manner. This ability to remain composed strengthens relationships and earns respect from others. Furthermore, patience is essential for long-term success. Many people fail in their goals because they expect immediate results. Whether it's fitness, education, business, or skill development, true success requires time and persistence. Impatient individuals give up too soon because they do not see instant rewards. But those with patience continue working hard, understanding that great things take time. Every successful person, athletes, entrepreneurs, scientists, has had to exercise patience to achieve their dreams. They understand that setbacks and failures are part of the journey, but if they stay persistent, success will eventually come. Patience also enhances problem-solving skills. When faced with a challenge, impatient individuals tend to react with frustration, which clouds their judgment. They look for quick fixes instead of long-term solutions. However, patient individuals take the time to analyze the problem, consider different solutions, and approach it with a clear mind. This ability to think logically under pressure allows them to find better solutions and avoid unnecessary stress. Moreover, patience is an essential skill in communication. Many misunderstandings happen simply because people do not take the time to listen and process what is being said. Impatient individuals interrupt, assume, and jump to conclusions without fully understanding the other person's message. This leads to conflicts and misinterpretations that could have been avoided with patience. On the other hand, a patient listener gains deeper insights, builds stronger connections, and avoids unnecessary misunderstandings. Patience is also a powerful tool for self-improvement. Growth takes time, and people who expect immediate results often become discouraged. Whether it's learning a new skill, overcoming a bad habit, or improving one's mindset, patience is required for real progress. A person who understands this does not get frustrated by slow progress. Instead, they stay committed, knowing that every small step brings them closer to their goal. Another aspect of patience is its ability to reduce stress. Many people live in a constant state of frustration because they expect things to happen instantly. They get annoyed in traffic, frustrated with slow internet, or impatient when waiting in line. This unnecessary stress affects their mental and physical health. However, those who practice patience learn to accept that not everything is in their control. They remain calm in situations that others find irritating, leading to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. In today's world, where everything moves at a fast pace, patience has become even more valuable. People are used to instant gratification, instant messaging, fast food, quick success stories. But real wisdom comes from understanding that not everything worthwhile happens immediately. Patience allows individuals to build strong foundations, whether in personal development, relationships, or career growth. It teaches them that the best things in life are not rushed but carefully nurtured over time. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, those who choose to speak less stand out. There is power in silence, and those who understand this gain an undeniable aura of mystery, authority, and respect. The more you talk, the more you reveal, not just about your thoughts, but about your emotions, weaknesses, and mindset. On the other hand, when you speak only when necessary, people are forced to pay closer attention to your words, and your presence naturally commands more respect. One of the main reasons why speaking less increases respect is that it prevents unnecessary mistakes. People who talk too much often end up saying things they don't mean, sharing personal details they shouldn't, or revealing their insecurities. A person who is always speaking is more likely to contradict themselves, expose their ignorance, or offend someone unintentionally. However, those who speak carefully and sparingly ensure that every word they say adds value. They avoid unnecessary gossip, foolish arguments, and careless statements that could come back to haunt them. Speaking less also creates a sense of mystery. People are naturally curious about those who don't reveal too much about themselves. When you say less, others are left wondering about your thoughts, experiences, and abilities. This mystery makes you more intriguing and forces people to respect your presence. In contrast, those who constantly talk about themselves, their achievements or their opinions, often lose their charm because there is nothing left to discover about them. In professional and social settings, being selective with your words increases your influence. Have you ever noticed how the most powerful and respected figures, leaders, mentors, or successful individuals rarely waste words? They do not feel the need to fill silence with meaningless chatter. Instead, when they speak, people listen because they know that what is being said is important. By adopting this habit, you create a strong presence that demands attention and respect. Additionally, speaking less allows you to listen more. The less you talk, the more you observe, analyze, and understand the people around you. This gives you an advantage in conversations and negotiation. Many people reveal valuable information about themselves, their intentions, or their weaknesses simply because they feel the need to keep talking. When you remain silent and listen carefully, you gain insights that others miss. This makes you more strategic and gives you the upper hand in both personal and professional interactions. Another important aspect of speaking less is that it protects you from unnecessary conflicts. Many arguments and misunderstandings happen simply because people say things without thinking. A careless remark, an unnecessary opinion, or a poorly timed joke can create tension and damage relationships. However, by choosing your words carefully and knowing when to remain silent, you avoid unnecessary drama and keep your reputation intact. Speaking less also helps you control your emotions. When people are angry, frustrated, or excited, they often speak without thinking, saying things they later regret. But those who have mastered the art of restraint understand that silence is a powerful way to maintain control over a situation. Instead of reacting emotionally, they take a step back, observe, and respond only when necessary. This ability to stay composed under pressure earns them respect and makes them seem more intelligent and wise. Furthermore, speaking less makes your words more impactful. When you rarely speak, people take your words more seriously when you do. If you are constantly talking, your words lose value because people get used to hearing you all the time. But when you choose to speak only when necessary, your words carry more weight. This is why the most influential leaders and thinkers do not waste their words. They speak with purpose, making every statement meaningful. In addition, speaking less protects your personal and professional reputation. Many people ruin opportunities because they talk too much and reveal information that should have been kept private. Whether it's workplace gossip, personal secrets, or oversharing on social media, excessive talking can lead to regret, but those who practice restraint are seen as trustworthy and reliable because they do not engage in unnecessary talk or spread information carelessly. Finally, speaking less allows you to develop a sense of self-discipline. It takes effort to control the urge to speak, especially in a world that encourages constant communication. However, those who master this skill develop stronger self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and mental discipline. They become more mindful of their words and actions, ensuring that every interaction they have is meaningful and intentional. Many people go through life reacting to everything around them without truly understanding what is happening. They speak without thinking, act without planning, and make decisions based on emotions rather than logic. However, those who take the time to observe before acting gain a deeper understanding of people, situations, and the world itself. Observing more and talking less allows you to see what others miss, giving you an advantage in every aspect of life. Observation is the foundation of wisdom. The greatest thinkers, strategists, and leaders in history did not rush into action. They studied their surroundings, analyzed patterns, and gathered information before making decisions. By sharpening your ability to observe, you develop insight that others lack. You begin to notice the small details in conversations, body language, and social dynamics that reveal more than words ever could. One of the greatest benefits of being observant is that it helps you understand people on a deeper level. Most people only pay attention to what is being said, but true understanding comes from what is left unsaid. Facial expressions, tone of voice, and body language often reveal a person's true feelings and intentions. When you observe rather than immediately respond, you can tell when someone is being dishonest, insincere, or manipulative. This skill protects you from deception and helps you build stronger, more genuine relationships. Observation also helps you learn from others without making the same mistakes they did. Life is full of lessons, but not all of them have to be learned the hard way. If you pay close attention to the experiences of others, you can avoid their failures and adopt their successes. People who do not observe often repeat the same mistakes because they fail to recognize warning signs or patterns in behavior. But those who are keen observers see the consequences of actions before experiencing them firsthand. Additionally, observing more enhances your ability to solve problems effectively. Many people struggle with decision making because they do not take the time to analyze situations properly. They jump to conclusions, act impulsively, and later regret their choices. But those who practice observation gather all the necessary information before making a move. They notice hidden opportunities, potential risks, and alternative solutions that others overlook. This allows them to make smarter choices and avoid unnecessary failures. In social situations, being observant gives you a significant advantage. Whether in personal relationships, business negotiations, or casual conversations, people who observe more understand the social dynamics at play. They notice who holds power in a group, who is being honest, and who is trying to manipulate the situation. This awareness helps them navigate interactions more effectively, ensuring they are always one step ahead. Observation is also a key skill in personal growth. Many people go through life unaware of their own habits, emotions, and reactions. They repeat destructive patterns because they do not take the time to reflect on their own behavior. However, those who develop strong observation skills learn to analyze themselves just as they analyze the world around them. They recognize their own strengths and weaknesses, making it easier to improve and grow. Furthermore, being observant helps you recognize opportunities that others miss. Life presents countless chances for success, but only those who pay attention see them. Whether it's noticing a business trend before it becomes popular, recognizing an undervalued investment, or identifying a gap in the market, observation can lead to great success. Many of the world's most successful people achieved their status not because they were the loudest or the fastest, but because they saw what others overlooked. Observation also plays a crucial role in self-defense and personal security. Many dangerous situations can be avoided simply by being aware of your surroundings. People who do not observe are often caught off guard, becoming easy targets for scams, manipulation, or even physical danger. But those who pay attention to their environment notice when something feels off, allowing them to act accordingly and protect themselves. Another powerful benefit of observation is that it improves your ability to adapt. Life is constantly changing, and those who fail to notice these changes struggle to keep up. However, observant individuals recognize shifts in trends, behaviors, and circumstances early, allowing them to adjust before it is too late. This adaptability is what separates those who thrive from those who are left behind. Ultimately, observing more and speaking less puts you in a position of strength. It allows you to gather valuable information, understand people deeply, make better decisions, and navigate life with greater awareness. While others waste time talking without purpose, those who observe develop the wisdom, knowledge, and insight needed to succeed in any situation. Many people believe that intelligence is demonstrated by how much they talk, but in reality, the wisest individuals are those who listen more than they speak. Wisdom is not about having an opinion on everything. It is about understanding, processing, and gaining insight before forming conclusions. The more you listen, the more you learn, and the better your decisions become. Talking too much, on the other hand, often leads to misunderstanding, missed opportunities, and even foolishness. One of the biggest benefits of listening is that it allows you to absorb knowledge from those who have more experience. No matter how intelligent you think you are, there is always someone who knows something you don't. Every person you meet has a unique perspective, a different background, and valuable lessons they have learned through their own experiences. When you listen carefully, you gain access to this knowledge without having to experience every hardship yourself. This allows you to grow and learn faster than those who only focus on speaking. Listening also helps you understand the deeper meaning behind what is being said. Many people focus only on the words someone is saying, but true understanding comes from listening to the emotions, intentions, and unspoken messages behind those words. When you listen carefully, you notice subtle cues in tone, hesitation, and choice of words that reveal more than the surface level message. This ability to read between the lines allows you to connect with others on a deeper level, making you more insightful and emotionally intelligent. Additionally, listening builds stronger relationships. People appreciate those who genuinely listen to them. Everyone wants to feel heard and understood, but most people are too focused on what they want to say next rather than truly paying attention. When you listen attentively, you make others feel valued and respected, which strengthens your personal and professional relationships. This simple act of listening can earn you trust, respect, and influence over others. Another advantage of listening more and talking less is that it prevents you from saying things you might regret. Many people ruin opportunities, damage relationships, or make themselves look foolish simply because they speak without thinking. Words once spoken cannot be taken back, and a single careless statement can have long-lasting consequences. By developing the habit of listening first and speaking later, you ensure that your words are thoughtful, meaningful, and necessary. Listening also enhances problem-solving skills. Many conflicts arise because people are too focused on proving their point rather than understanding the issue at hand. When you listen carefully, you can identify the root of the problem rather than just reacting to the surface level symptoms. This allows you to find solutions that are fair, effective, and beneficial for everyone involved. People who fail to listen often make decisions based on incomplete information, leading to unnecessary mistakes and misunderstandings. Furthermore, listening helps you recognize when to stay silent. Not every situation requires your input, and sometimes remaining silent is the wisest choice. Those who talk too much often reveal their weaknesses, share unnecessary personal details, or expose their ignorance. However, those who listen more gain knowledge while maintaining an air of wisdom and mystery. They understand that silence can be more powerful than words, especially in situations where speaking would only create conflict or confusion. Listening also strengthens leadership skills. The best leaders are not those who dominate every conversation, but those who listen to their team, understand their concerns, and make informed decisions. When you listen to others, you gain new perspectives and ideas that you might not have considered on your own. This ability to gather input and make well-informed choices makes you a stronger, more effective leader in any situation. Another powerful benefit of listening is that it helps you control your emotions. Many people react emotionally to situations without fully understanding them. They hear one thing, assume the worst, and respond impulsively, leading to unnecessary arguments and stress. However, those who practice deep listening learn to pause, analyze, and respond thoughtfully rather than emotionally. This emotional discipline allows them to handle difficult conversations with grace and intelligence. Moreover, listening keeps you open to growth and learning. Those who talk too much often believe they already know everything, which prevents them from gaining new insights. But those who listen with an open mind constantly expand their knowledge and wisdom. They remain students of life, always ready to learn from new experiences, perspectives, and ideas. This continuous learning mindset sets them apart, making them wiser and more adaptable over time. In the end, wisdom is not about how much you say, it's about how much you understand. The greatest thinkers, philosophers, and successful individuals in history did not gain their knowledge by talking endlessly, but by listening, observing, and reflecting. If you want to become truly wise, the first step is to listen more, talk less, and always seek to understand before you speak. In a world where everyone is eager to speak, those who master the art of silence stand out as the wisest. Speaking less does not mean you have nothing to say. It means you value your words, understand their impact, and choose them carefully. By being silent at the right moments, you protect yourself from unnecessary mistakes, gain deeper insights, and command more respect from others. True wisdom does not come from speaking endlessly, but from listening, observing, and thinking before responding. The fool is the one who talks without understanding, reacts without reflection, and seeks attention rather than knowledge. But the wise individual embraces patience, learns from every moment, and speaks only when necessary. So the next time you feel the urge to fill the silence with unnecessary words, remember, being silent does not make you weak. It makes you powerful. Stop being a fool by talking too much and start being wise by knowing when to listen, when to observe, and when to speak with purpose. Let your silence be your strength, and let your words, when spoken, carry the weight of wisdom.